Welcome to the Money Pig Podcast, presented by Goodwin Investment Advisory, where our mission is to lead you to financial pig, peace, independence, and generosity. I'm your host, Tim Goodwin. And welcome back to the Money Pig Podcast. We're your hosts,
Joe Beckford
and Tim Goodwin. And today we are super excited to discuss the cost of always being the responsible one. But before we do, Joe, how's it going? Tell us something interesting about you.
It's going fantastic.
Okay, that sounds
Answer
great.
your question, yeah. Something interesting about me. God, what did I say last time you asked me that question? I think I said I like to travel.
Yeah.
And I still like to travel.
Same. Yeah.
That really
hasn't changed since last time.
Just a new trips, planning all the time kind of thing. Yeah. If I'm not here and I'm not fixing up the house, I'm figuring out how to travel.
See the world. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to travel recently and we went skiing and it snowed 6 to 10 feet of snow where we were, which I'm still trying to wrap my head around how much snow that really is. But it was a beautiful place. It made maybe some of our plans for activities a little more challenging.
Right.
But man, in some of these places that didn't have much snow this season, it was pretty cool to see that much snow. So, Joe, I don't know if I told you this the other day, but my wife told me that I am the cheapest man in the world. I'm just not buying it.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty
good. You know how we're really avid readers. We encourage our clients to be readers.
Yeah.
We send a birthday book to our clients and stuff like that, right? Ask me what I'm reading.
What are you reading,
So
Joe?
I'm reading this super cool book now about anti-gravity.
Oh, yeah?
I can't put it down.
Can't put it down. Just keeps floating up. Wow. That's great. Okay. That's great. I'm glad that you're contributing.
I'm trying to up my game.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. You know, we can both experience the cricket. So, all right. So thank you for contributing. So let's get back to the cost of always being the responsible one conversation. We thought this might be helpful for folks to talk about today.
It can be heavy, right?
Yeah, it can.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what does it mean? What does it mean to be the responsible one?
Well, you always look, I think probably, I have clients and we all have friends and it feels like there's always a person in the family, no matter if you have a family of 3 or 2
right.
or 20, there's the one person that always just kind of steps up
Yep.
and picks up the mess.
And we talked about how, like, with a lot of our clients are couples. And even in that case, one seems to be like leading the financial relationship maybe a little bit more than the other. Like there's that responsible one. But in this context, I think we're talking more about sort of in the broader context of your family, around your family and your friends. You feel like you're the responsible one. You're the one that got out of debt. You're the one that has the emergency fund. You're the one that's picking up the check. You're the one that's making the plans for the family or the friends to get together or to go on a vacation with. So I think that's the kind of person that we're talking about today is who is the responsible one and what does that mean? And often there is more of a cost than just like being the check picker upper,
Sure.
Saving the money, maybe helping with certain expenses for families or friends. Joe, what's the cost outside of financial of being like the glue, the responsible one? Actually, maybe even add a little bit to like, what do we mean by being the glue when you're the responsible one?
Yeah. I would say like in every family, there's one. And I reference, I feel like, and I tell my wife that all the time, like you are the glue. And, her father's even made that statement together. Like he looks, back from another generation and says, wow, you're like the glue that, you call me way more than I call you. You call, you reach out and you try to make things happen all the time. And she does that in our family too. And I think they're just people who naturally gravitate towards like, if it's not happening, I make it happen. I see it happening. It's not okay. Like I've got like an extra vision that I see, like the people aren't calling me, hey, we haven't been to dinner with these people in a while. Well, they haven't called me either. So I'm going to make it happen. And they just do it.
Right.
And do it and do it and do it. So I think, we're spiritual people here and I think everybody gets talents. And I feel like that's a talent that you're given that just obviously not everybody else is given, but also it just weighs on you after a while, man. It's a responsibility. So even though you do it willingly and you do it innately, that you just, after a while, it's like, I'm tired. I would love for somebody else to step up and do this for me for a while. And
I think
that's
it
hard.
gets frustrating because you kind of, I feel a lot as the responsible one in my family, you know, not just in my direct family, but in my extended family. Sometimes I'm frustrated. Like, does anybody else want to send a text message and see if the family can get together? Does anybody else want to plan the vacation? Or, you know, whenever we're getting together, does anybody else want to help with this kind of situation? And I find that like I can get frustrated sometimes, but it's because I'm putting certain expectations on family members to be like more like me.
More like you.
Yeah. You just said, you know, God kind of gives us certain talents and gifts. And I'm not saying either that my family's ever like ungrateful. They love that I kind of make these, you know, scheduling things happen. And we really enjoy being with each other. But I think if I just owned like, hey, this is your role. Like you get to manifest this talent or skill or want that you have for the benefit of the family, and just be happy that you get to do that for everybody instead of like, well, I wish somebody else would plan something.
Right.
You know?
So you can physically get tired of what, and I think you hit the nail on the head. It's expectations, right? Because you're living in your own world and you have your own experience and you know how you feel and how you think. So the natural inclination is, well, everybody must feel that way.
Right.
And not everybody does. They're just not wired that way.
We haven't gotten together in a while. Last time we got together was great.
They might not be. They might not be, you know? Yeah. And so, yeah. I like how you said I need to just adjust my own expectations.
And I think it goes beyond just getting frustrated. I mean, I think you can, if you don't shift, like I was talking about, that can kind of lead into resentment, right? Into stress, like decision fatigue, because you feel like you're making all the decisions. I do find that sometimes I can still be the responsible one, but kind of share some of the load of decision making. I think the biggest pull that I do for my family is just to get something scheduled. But after that, you know, typically the wives end up texting about food or something like that. And the location starts to kind of figure itself out and those kind of things. So it's not like I had to decide every tiny detail and end up with a lot of fatigue at that point. I don't know. I don't know if there's any other costs that you feel like that Mary Ellen goes through. Like, does she get frustrated? Does she feel like,
sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Some other folks could be pitching in here.
Just frustrated, burnout.
Care?
Yeah. But I think in the end, you get to that point where you're like, wow, I've been doing a lot of the heavy lifting for a really long time. But I think the way you just described it, reframe it like, well, I've been doing this heavy lifting, but God gave me the muscles to be able to do this.
Right.
And he didn't necessarily give everybody else that. So there's just this constant reframing of like, hey, rather than feeling fatigued, look at the blessing side of it, that you're able to do this and stuff like that. But then there's also the boundary part too, right? Like to give and give and give and put out your energy and your time and your talent to make sure everybody gets together all the time and do all the things. You can't just pour out of your cup forever, right?
Yes,
and not let it be refilled. So I think that's kind of the next thing is you got to set some boundaries around that.
I think in this part too, there is a balance too. Like maybe I just want it more than everybody else does. Maybe I think they all want to get together. Maybe I think they need my help. Maybe they don't as much.
Maybe not.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, what is something that like I'm just driving to try to make happen from just sheer willpower and effort? Maybe like nobody else wants to push this flywheel. Like maybe I could just take a breather. So here's a question I've got. How do you know you're the responsible one? And I've got a quick answer to my own question.
Oh, gosh.
If you are listed as the executor or the executress in your parents' will, you are the responsible one, right?
That is
that's a dead giveaway.
Dead giveaway.
I'm not so sure they would consider me the responsible one. If you're listed, you are. If you are the house that the parents are going to move in with, you know, at some point when their mobility is declining, you are the responsible one. Guess what?
Yeah.
It's you, buddy. Yeah, they're looking to you. So obviously you know that if people are coming to you asking you for loans, which we highly recommend never doing that to friends or family members. But
no, that turns into.
Do we have any clients that experience this feeling, Joe?
All of them.
Okay.
All of them.
Yeah, they do tend to be the responsible ones, the ones that find us, right?
I mean, they're great examples, and I always ask people, particularly when we're starting to get to know somebody, a new client and a new relationship. And one thing we always talk about is, so tell me about your family, because that tends to be one of the most important things to them. And I always ask, do you still have your parents with you? Are they living? And what is their health like? And what does that look like? And you quickly find out like people are often responsible either financially or around health or having somebody, like you said, if your parents are going to be the ones moving in with you or something like that, where they're responsible for their parents either financially or for providing living, or I'm the Uber. I get to take mom to all the doctor's appointments and all the things and stuff like that. You have a responsibility level, and for better or worse, a lot of times that's geographic too. If you're the kid that is closest to the parents and all the other kids
figure out
moved
how
away,
to be the responsible one.
the ones that I hear from sometimes are like, yeah, mom and dad live 7 hours away. I have a brother or sister who lives 5 minutes away, and I'm the one that gets the phone call all the time. Yeah. I'm the one that has to fix all the things. And then there's this frustration, like, why isn't my sibling helping me? And
that can be frustrating.
They're not wired like that.
Yeah.
So
Justin,
happens a lot.
Justin, one of the advisors on our team, was just telling us about a client that sometimes we call they're stuck in the sandwich generation.
Ooh, tell me about the sandwich.
Yeah,
like pastrami and sauerkraut and...
then what's the Thousand Island dressing? Yeah, a little rye.
Yeah, a Reuben. Let's talk about it.
That's a good place to be in the middle of, Joe, right there. So now I'm hungry.
That's not what you meant,
that's not what I was talking about. Yeah, not that kind of sandwich. But so we've got Justin's clients, right? And so one of the moms is got some kind of declining mobility issues, and so they are remodeling the basement so that mom can move in. They've still got a daughter in high school, right? So it's not like they're empty nesters. They're still taking care of their kids, but now they're also taking care of their parents. So they're kind of stuck in the middle, taking care of the top and the bottom, and that definitely makes you feel like the responsible one really, really fast.
Right.
So Joe, what does a healthy version of being the responsible one look like?
Well, it's tough and it's learned, because if you're the responsible one, you probably are just used to pouring out, and you probably feel like it's either your responsibility or your inherent need, calling, purpose, whatever, to say yes. And sometimes you have to say no.
How do you say it again? You got to put your tongue to the top and roof of your mouth.
Yeah,
hum a little bit. No. Is that how you say that word? Okay.
It is hard, right? That doesn't make sense. I always
say that a whole lot.
So, I like to travel. You like to travel. When you get on a plane and they give you the safety video and they talk about the oxygen masks that are going to come down.
Yeah.
Do they tell you, Mr. Responsible One, make sure that when that comes down, you put it on your child?
Right.
No.
They tell you, put it on you first.
You have to put it on you first, because are you going to be the one that helps the child? Absolutely you are. But if you're unconscious because you were trying to help them and then you passed out, guess who you can't help is you, right? So I always tell clients, I use that analogy a lot. I love that. Like, you have to take care of yourself. You have to fill up your own bucket. You have to help yourself. And that might mean in this situation like this, this sandwich clients, and I have some of those as well. It's like, get enough sleep. Say no sometimes. Realize that maybe the kids in that situation don't need 12 sports. Maybe they only need one. Maybe you just can't do that at a time in a sort of loving way. Maybe you need to have a therapist. Maybe you need to have some respite care sometimes. We used to do foster parenting, and there was a thing called respite care.
Oh, yeah.
You get too busy, it's like...
It's a big deal.
You need to take care of these for a day or two.
It's filling that cup back up like you were talking about.
Yeah, and it's not natural, but it's not only okay, I think it's necessary, because if you burn out too much, you can't help anybody.
Totally. And I think that's awesome. I think a big part of a healthy being the responsible one looks like somebody saying no, like you're saying, and then setting these healthy boundaries of what you are willing or not willing to do. Like we mentioned it before, no loans. Do not give loans.
Why, Tim? Why do you not like loans?
Well, generally, I just ask people, if you've ever given anybody a loan, how did that change the relationship? And did it change it in a good way? I don't really hear
The answer is
stories
like
from
never
folks
yes.
that loan money to other people and are like, we're the best of friends now. We're so much
That
tighter.
was such a great decision.
Yeah.
That made us so much
I mean,
stronger.
biblically, in Proverbs, it says the borrower is slave to the lender. So now you've turned your friend or your family member into your slave. I don't think that's a healthy way to adjust your relationship.
100%. 100%.
So definitely no to the loans. If your friend or your family member really needs the money and you've got the money to give, then just give it. Or if you got the money to loan and that's what you were thinking, but just give it. Just give it away. It's just.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then it's a gift.
Absolutely.
Then there's no strings.
And then there's not.
And then try not to have any strings attached. That gets
right.
That can be done incorrectly as well. I think kind of was talking about too, like before, share some decision making stuff. If you're trying to make something happen and nobody else is helping you make the decision and sharing the load, then maybe you're trying to do something that only you want. So recognize that. On the emergency fund too, like you really have to protect the piece that having a fully funded emergency fund gives you. So when we are talking about making gifts or making loans, kind of like you were talking about with the oxygen mask, don't do that at the point that it hurts you.
Right.
Or puts you in a financial situation that you're at risk. You're the one that's worked hard for that money. You worked hard not to spend it. Right. You stuck it in that bank account. It's not necessarily earning you interest, it's earning you peace. And don't let other folks destroy that piece that you've built. So if you've got some excess emergency funds beyond your retirement account, all that stuff, and you want to do some gifts, that's where we would consider it being potentially healthy.
Yeah.
And then the sinking funds, if there are things coming up, the good, healthy, responsible person will save in advance. So they need to have a $12,000 expense a year from now. They're putting $1,000 a month away and building that up. I have this story, and then I think it kind of ties in, but if it doesn't, it's just a fun story. So we're just going to throw this out about.
So it might just be a bonus.
Just a bonus content, guys. You've gotten this far, but wait, there's more. So I do love to play cards, and to a degree,
like three-card Monty. If we played that right now, would you be?
I don't
with
even
that?
know what you're talking about.
Oh,
3-card Monty.
Yeah, that's
Mandy just taught me Kings in the Corner. That's been pretty awesome.
I don't think you can lose enough money at that game.
No, oh no. Maybe I do need to find out about the card game before I play.
It's like
with
the shysters on the street. They got 3 cards. They're like, okay, pick the queen, and they move it around, and then before you know it, you've given your whole wallet away.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Is that like anytime you're like, okay, which cup is it under?
It's kind of like that if you're betting money. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like that.
Well,
That's not what you meant, is it?
You know what? I'm sure in Vegas you can probably find somebody that's taking a bet on that. But I am talking about going to Vegas and doing some gambling. But what we do is we go with a budget. We go with an amount. Our plan is to spend that budget at the casino. We really enjoy. Maury and I really love playing craps, a little bit of blackjack, but we really love playing craps, and we just have a good time. And our plan is to spend all that money. To us, we look at it like this is what we're paying for, having fun. And in Vegas, it comes with some drinks, so there's at least that, And we just enjoy the time and enjoy the fun of playing the cards and the winning and the losing. For us, if we come home with any part of that budget, we won. Like we're up. Because our expectation is to spend that money. That budget is supposed to be spent. But once it's spent, we're done. I mean, we have a budget per day, which is basically like if we went with $1,000 and we were going to be there for 3 days, our budget the first day is $333.33. So if we run out, we're done for the day.
Done, right.
Yeah, we're done. If we're up, maybe we divide that by 2 tomorrow. I don't know, but that's how we do it. That's how I feel like we're responsible with it. And that's how often we come back from Vegas. We don't go to Vegas a ton, but that's just, we feel up if we have any part of that, $1,000 budget and that example. So I think setting those limits on budgeting helps you be responsible as well. So it's kind of like a sinking fund or, not letting it go into our emergency fund.
Protecting your emergency fund, protecting your retirement savings and things like that. I've known people who are like, oh yeah, I'm going to start dipping into my retirement savings for my kids' college or whatever. And you're like, whoa. There's a boundary discussion.
To me, it's a memory dividend. I'm paying for that memory, to have that time, to have that good time.
Right, but you're budgeting for it.
That's right.
You're not going into debt for it, either on a credit card or into your emergency fund. To me, those are like, ooh, that's money I can't afford to do. So if that were the case, you wouldn't do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right, Joe, as we wrap up here, any final words on being the responsible one or anything you want a listener who's hearing going, yeah, I think I'm the responsible one to hear?
I think if you're the responsible one, just know that you're not alone. There's a lot of us in the room, apparently.
There's
or at
a
least
lot of us out there.
That we would feel like. I mean, I feel that as well. I always did in my small family growing up. I always kind of felt that way too. So, you're not alone. And I think what you said too is when potentially you get fatigued about it, just reframe it and realize it is a blessing, and it's a gift that not everybody has. And we always have to understand not everybody thinks like we do, and that's okay. They can think differently, and I can live my gift as long as I protect my boundaries. It can bring you a lot of joy to be the responsible one too. You get a lot of fulfilling things. You put together cool trips, and you do a lot of cool things, and you get to create a lot of memories that, had you not been the one doing it, it wouldn't have happened. So it's got lots.
It still has its rewards.
It's got lots of upside.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. So if you are listening and you do feel like you are the responsible one, we want you. Feel alone. We want you. And so certainly be encouraged to start a conversation with us. To do that, you go to goodwinandinvestment.com, click schedule an intro call. If that's something you feel like you're ready to do, we would be excited to talk to you. Joe, we love to sign off with gratitude. So what are you grateful for today?
I changed my mind based on this. I think I'm grateful that I'm the responsible one.
Oh, wow.
I mean, not necessarily like between me and my wife, it's probably her. Let's be real. It's probably her. But like the way I grew up in my, in my nuclear family, if you will. Yeah, I think that was a blessing though. I don't think I would have switched that around and been the one that had to rely on other people to make stuff happen, or it didn't happen.
Why learn the hard way when you don't have to?
Yeah. So I think I'm
choose
grateful.
A responsible path.
I think I'm grateful for the gifts I've been given.
That's awesome.
Yeah. How about you?
Mine's super random, but I am grateful for really great cough drops.
So you know what I want to say? Tell me more.
Like this is doTERRA, right, Mandy? What are the name of these cough drops that I like so much?
Oh, probably.
Breathe, and On Guard. So. And as a responsible one, I generally around the cold seasons have a few in my pocket. So if anybody needs a really awesome cough drop, but my kids are always like, Dad, where's those cough drops? So I think Ray even said the other day, he's like, I know where you keep your cough drops in your office, and I needed one the other day. I hope you're okay. I just snuck in there and grabbed them. I'm like, man, have a cough drop whenever you want. So I'm grateful to live in a day and a time where there's really great cough drops out there during the cold season.
Totally right. Responsible and random.
That's the responsible and random answer I've got for you guys. Well, if you made it this far, thank you guys so much for listening, and we appreciate you so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Goodwin Investment Advisory is an SEC-registered investment advisory, CRD number 131193, and this episode is produced by Goodwin Investment. This podcast is for informational purposes only and is not investment advice or recommendation to buy or sell any financial products, securities, digital assets, or other investments. It should not be used as the basis for any financial decisions. The host and guests may personally hold investments mentioned in this episode. All investments involve risk, and past performance does not guarantee future results. Please consult with a qualified financial advisor, tax professional, and attorney before taking action on any information shared.